Good day everyone and welcome to our group presentation. Today we will be presenting our school improvement plan which focuses on addressing the issues of bullying in rural school setting. This is a serious matter that affects students' emotional well-being and learning outcomes, and we believe our proposed intervention can make a positive difference. Before we begin, I would like to invite my group members to briefly introduce themselves. Let's start with Mr. Harry. Could you please introduce yourself?
Thanks to the moderator, Ms. Nurin. Hello everyone, I'm Harry Laka, I'm from Sarawak.
Thank you, Mr. Harry. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Young to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Tayang Shazwani and I'm from Sabah.
Thank you, Ms. Young. Now, let's hear from Ms. Sherlyn. Please go ahead.
Hello everyone, my name is Shalin and Victor and I'm from Sabah.
Thank you, Ms. Sherlyn. Next, may I invite Ms. Fina to introduce herself?
Thank you, our moderator. My name is Nur Afrina and I'm from Selangor.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fina. Lastly, I would like to welcome Ms. Dira to
Hi everyone, I'm Dira from Kuala Lumpur.
Thank you everyone for the introduction. Let's begin our presentation. I will hand over to Mr. Harry, who will start with the introduction section.
Hello everyone. Let me just start by saying bullying isn't something new. It always been a problem in school, even in small rural ones. When we were placed in a rural school for our observation, we honestly didn't expect to see much of it. The school only had about 60 students, but still, we noticed cases of teasing, name calling, and some students being left out of group. At first, it seemed like just normal student behavior, but the more we observe, the more we realize that even these small things can really affect the student, especially their confidence, emotion, and focus in class. That made us start thinking, is bullying is about individual bad behavior, or is there something bigger going on? Through what we have learned in our Sociology in Education class, we now understand the bullying actually reflect deeper social issue like peer pressure, problem at home, and even how the student culture works. So, as a group, we decided to focus on bullying as our school improvement topic. In this presentation, we'll be showing you the real problem we found and some practical ways we think school, especially in rural areas, can handle it better.
Thank you, Harry, for the clear and insightful introduction. Now that we understand the background of the issues, let's move on to the next part of our presentation. I would like to invite our next speaker, Ms. Young, who will be explaining the root causes of bullying through a sociological lens, using relevant theories to help us better understand why bullying happens in school settings. Young, you may begin.
So let's talk a bit about the actual problem we noticed during our time at the rural school. At first glance, you wouldn't expect a serious issue in such a small school. I mean, there were only around 60 students, but surprisingly, bullying was still happening. We saw name calling, some students being left out from the groups, and even a bit of physical pushing around. It might seem small, but it really affects the student confidence and mood, and of course their learning. Now, when we look into the data, it became even more worrying. The Ministry of Education reported nearly 5,000 cases of school bullying in the first 10 months of 2023. That's a big jump compared to just over 3,800 in 2022 and only a few hundred in 2021. So yeah, it's clear this is a growing issue and not just in a big city school. To really understand why this keep happening, we tried to break it down using some theories we learned in Sociology of Education. First, there is symbolic interactionism. This helps us see how bullying can become normalized through things like jokes and teasing that nobody corrects. If people laugh, the bully thinks it is okay. Next, conflict theory, which look at the power. Some students try to show dominance over others, especially those who are different or maybe weaker academically. For example, a slow learner student, they are often being left out socially because of the challenges they face in learning. Finally, socializations theories. This theory explains on how students often copy what they see at home or social media. If they're used to seeing insult or aggressive behavior, they might think it's fine to act that way at school too. So overall, we're not just looking at bullying as random bad behavior. We're seeing it as something shaped by social influences, power dynamics, and the school environment itself.
Thank you, Yang, for sharing the analysis of the bullying issues and helping us understanding the deeper factor behind it. Now that we have looked at the root of the problem, let's move on to the next part, the intervention strategies. Let's continue with your explanation, Charlene.
Alright, thank you. So now I will explain the three means of intervention that we believe can help to create a safer and more positive environment in our rural school. The first one is introducing a whole school anti-bullying policy. Basically, means that we have clear rules of what consider bullying, how to report it, and how the school will respond. We will also include anonymous ways for students to report, like suggestion box or peer mediator, and a trained teacher to spot early sign of bullying. This is based on the idea of functionalism theory, which focuses on structure and order in a system. When there are clear procedures, students feel safer and teachers know exactly what to do. One student even showed that when rural schools apply this kind of policy, bullying dropped and engagement improved. So it really works on practice. The second strategy is to start peer mentoring and inclusive clubs. The idea is to reduce clique and help students to build better relationships. Older students will be paired with younger ones, and we will have clubs with mixed age that doing things like drama, sport, and art. This activity can help students to feel more included and support. This one is linked to symbolic interactionism, which talks about how our everyday interactions and how we behave and see ourselves. When students have regular positive experience with others, they are